Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear students, today inshallah we will move on to the next chapter, that is chapter number 2, collection of data. Okay. See, in our last chapter we have discussed, or we all got to know what is economics. We all studied what is economics, okay? And you also studied what are the roles and importance of statistics in economics. So in this chapter, inshallah, we will study the sources of data and the mode of data collection, okay? So you all know the main intention or the main purpose of collection of data is to find a clear solution to a problem, correct? The purpose of collection of data is to show evidence for researching a sound and clear solution to a problem, okay? See, in economics you usually or you often come across a statement like, after many fluctuation, the output of food grain rose to 132 million tons in 1978 to 79 from 108 million tons in 1970 to 71, but fell to 108 million tons in 1979 to 80. Then production of food grains then rose continuously to 252 million tons in 2015 and 2016, and then it touched 2017 million tons in 2016-2017. Okay, so such statements, you can observe that the food grain production in different year does not remain the same, correct? In this statement, you can get to know that the production of food grain in different year is different, okay? So it varies from year to year and from crop to crop, okay? So as the value vary, they are called variables, okay? Because since the value does not remain same, since it varies, such values are called as variables, okay? So the variables are generally represented by letter X, Y and Z, okay? So each value of a variable is an observation. See, for example, the food grain production in India varies between 108 million tons in 1970 to 71 to 272 million tons in 2016-2017, okay? So this is a variable here, okay? Because there are two variables here, that is the year of production and the production of food grain in India, okay? So here year of production can be represented by X variable, or it can be represented as X, and production of food grain in India can be represented by Y, okay? So here the value of this variable, that is X and Y, are the data, okay, from which we can obtain information about the production of food grain in India, okay? So here two variables, that is the year of production and the production of food grain in India. These two are the variables, okay, which is represented as X and Y, okay? And this is the data see, from which we can obtain information about the production of food grain in India, okay? So to know the fluctuations in food grain production, we need the data on the production of food grain, okay, in India for various years. So the tool, okay, so the data is a tool which helps in understanding the problem by providing information, okay? So this data acts as a tool which helps us to understand problems by providing information, okay? Okay, but okay, so I hope you all understood what is this data, but we will discuss now what are the types of data, then what are the methods and instruments of data collection, and the sources of obtaining data, okay? So now first we will see what are the sources of data. What are the sources of data, okay? Now statistical data can be obtained from two sources, okay? It can be obtained from two sources. See, if the researcher may collect the data by conducting an inquiry, such data are called primary data, okay? If a researcher is collecting a data by conducting an inquiry, if a researcher is finding something by directly reaching to a people, okay, and such data collected by the researcher is called as primary data. Okay, because such data are based on first hand information. Okay, so primary data are the information obtained first hand by the researcher on the variables of interest for the specific purpose of the study. See, for example, survey, focus group, panel, questionnaire, personal interview, all these are the example for primary data. Okay, here information is collected or obtained first hand by the researcher. Okay, now if the data have been collected and processed, okay, if the data is already been collected and it is processed, okay, by some other agencies, okay, in any form, it may be in tabular form or any form, they are called as secondary data. Okay, because this is the data which is already collected by someone. Okay, and if you are collecting data from such people or from such agencies or from any book or something which is already collected by someone, then it is called as secondary data. Okay, that is the information gathered from sources already exist. Okay, here it is already existing, the information is already existing, and from that if you are collecting data, then it is called as secondary data. Okay, see, such data can either obtained from published source such as government reports, documents, newspaper, then books written by economists, or from any other sources. Okay, such as from website, all this. Okay, so this data are primary to the source that collected and processed then for the first time. Okay, and secondary for all sources that later use such data. Okay, so if the data is collected for the first time, then it is called as primary data. But if the data is collected from any source which is existing already, if someone has already collected it, and from that if you are collecting the data, then that data is called as secondary data. As I've told you, if you're collecting data from website or from newspaper or from book written by economists, and such data are called as secondary data. Okay, now we will see how do we collect the data. Okay, what are the methods of data collection? Okay, how to collect this data. Okay, see, you all may know how a manufacturer decide about a product, or how political parties decide about the candidates. Okay, so what they do is they conduct a survey by asking questions about a particular product or candidate from a large group of people. Okay, the purpose of survey is to discuss some characteristics like price, then quality, then usefulness in cases of product, and in cases of candidate to ask the popularity, honesty, loyalty and all this. Okay, so the purpose of the survey is to collect data. So survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. Okay, survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. Okay, now preparation of instruments. See, the most common type of instrument used in survey is questionnaire. Okay, so the most common instrument which you use in survey, okay, it is the questionnaire. Okay, or it also may be a interview scheduled. Okay, so the questionnaire is either self-administered by the respondent or administered by the researcher. Okay, so while preparing the questionnaire or interview schedule, you must keep in mind few of the things. Okay, so I hope you all know what is questionnaire. Okay, the questionnaire is the paper which has number of questions. Okay, which has many number of questions. Okay, so you should keep some of the things in your mind when you prepare this questionnaire. First is the questionnaire should not be too long. Okay, the questionnaire should not be too long, and the number of questions should be as minimum as possible. Okay, so the number of questions should be as minimum as possible. You cannot keep the questionnaire too long. Second is the questionnaire should be easy to understand and avoid all the difficult words. You should try to avoid as much as possible the difficult words. Okay, the question should be easy to understand. Okay, and next, questionnaire should be arranged in an order such that the person answering should feel comfortable. Okay, so questionnaire should be in that order so that the person who is answering it or the respondent who is answering it should feel comfortable. And the fourth thing is the series of questions should move from general to specific. Okay, so the questionnaire should start from general questions and proceed to more specific one. See, for example, poor questionnaire are you're asking question like, is increase in electricity charges justified, or is electricity supply in your locality regular? So good questionnaire is the electricity supply in your locality regular, or is increase in electricity charges justified? Okay, so the question should be precise and clear. Okay, the question should be precise and clear. See, for example, what percentage of your income do you spend on clothing in order to look presentable? Okay, so instead of asking like this, you can ask, what percentage of your income do you spend on clothing? Okay, so this is how you should ask the question. Okay, and the questionnaire should not be ambiguous. They should enable the respondent to answer quickly, correctly, and clearly. See, for example, you cannot ask questions such as, do you spend a lot of money on books in a month? Okay, instead you can ask like you can ask questions like tick mark the appropriate option, and you can ask the questions such as, how much do you spend on book in a month? Okay, and you can give some options such as less than rupees 200, then rupees 200 to 300, rupees 300 to 400, and more, and last option can be more than rupees 400. Okay, so you can give options and you can ask them to tick. Okay, and so this questionnaire should not use double negatives. Okay, the question should not use double negatives. See, the question starting with wouldn't you or don't you should be avoided. Okay, it should not start with negatives. Okay, so wouldn't you or don't you should be avoided, as they may lead to biased response. For example, don't you think smoking should be prohibited? So instead you can ask, do you think smoking should be prohibited? Okay, and the question should not be a leading question which gives a clue about how the respondent should answer. See, for example, how do you like the flavor of this high quality tea? Instead you can ask, how do you like the flavor of this tea? Okay, and then the question should not indicate alternatives to the answer. See, for example, would you like to do a job after college or to be a housewife? Instead you can ask, would you like to do, or what would you like to do after college? Okay, so these are the things you should keep in mind when you prepare the questionnaire. So this questionnaire may consist of closed end questions or open-ended questions. Okay, closed-ended questions or open-ended questions. What is this closed-ended question? It is structured question, and open-ended questions are unstructured questions. Okay, so the above question about as I've told you, what a student want to do after college is an open-end question. Okay, now what is this closed-end question or structured question? So this closed-end or structured question can either be two-way question or a multiple choice question. See, when when there are only two possibility answered yes or no, this is called as two-way question. Okay, if you are asking yes or no question, then it is called a two-way question. Okay, and when there is a possibility of more than two options of answers, multiple choice questions are more appropriate. Okay, see, for example, why do you sell your land? And you're giving them options such as to pay all the debts, to finance children's education, third is to invest in another property, fourth is any other, please specify. Okay, so this type of questions are called as multiple choice questions. Okay, now what is this closed-ended questions? See, closed-ended questions are easy to use, score, and to codify for analyzing, because all respondents can choose from the given option, but they are difficult to write as an alternative. Okay, it should be clearly written to respondents both side for the issue. See, there is also a possibility that individuals true respondent is not present among the opinion given. For this, the choice of any other is provided. Okay, so the choice of any other is provided, where the respondents can write a response which was not anticipated by the researcher. Okay, so you can give an option like any other. Okay, so the respondent can write any other answers which is not been anticipated by the researcher. So one of the limitation of multiple choice question is that they tend to restrict the answer, okay, by providing alternatives. Okay, they are restricting the answer because they give the alternatives without which the respondent may have answers which is different from that four options given by the respondent. Okay, so this open-end questions allows for more individual responses, but they are difficult to interpret and very hard to score, since there are a lot of variation in the respondents. For example, what is your view about globalization? Okay, so all such questions are called as open-end questions. Okay, now next is mode of data collection. Now, what are the modes of data collection? See, for example, there are many modes of data collection. Okay, now how to collect the data? Okay, have you ever come across a television show in which or see this, what is the mode of data collection is like the purpose of asking question is to do a survey for collection of data. Okay, the main purpose of asking question, okay, is to do a survey for the collection of data. So there are three basic ways of data collection. Okay, first is personal interview, next is mailing, then okay, that is questionnaire, then survey, and then telephone interview. Okay, now what is personal interview? I've told you there are three basic ways of collecting data. That is the personal interview, and then mailing, that is questionnaire, survey, and then telephone interview. Now what is this personal interview? Okay, so this method is used when the researcher has access to all the members. Okay, this method is used when the researcher can reach all the members. So the researcher conduct face-to-face interview with the respondent. Okay, here personal interview are preferred due to various reasons, because personal contact is made between the respondent and the interviewer. Okay, so the interviewer has the opportunity to explain the study and answer the queries of respondents. Okay, so the interviewer can request the respondent to expand on answers that are particularly important. Okay, so misinterpretation and misunderstanding can be avoided when you use this method of personal interview. Okay, so then respondent can also the interviewer can also watch the reaction of respondent, okay, when some of the questions are asked. But this personal interview has some of the demerits as well. See, it is very expensive as it requires trained interviewer, then it takes long time to complete the survey, then presentation of researchers may inhibit respondent from saying what they really think, all this. Okay, so this is all about personal interview. Okay, I hope you all have understood what is personal interview. So this is one of the method or one of the mode of data collection. Okay, next is mailing questionnaire. Okay, I have told you here questionnaire is mailed. Okay, when the data in a survey are collected by mail, the questionnaire is sent to each individual by mail with a request to complete and return it by a given date. Okay, this is called as this is the method of, or this is the mode of data collection. Okay, so when the data is or when the data in a survey are collected by mail, and the questionnaire is sent to each individual by mail with a request to complete and return it by a given date. Okay, so now the advantage of this method is it is less expensive, and it allows the researchers to have access to people in remote areas too. Correct. Okay, or else sometimes what happens is it becomes very difficult to reach in person or by telephone. So it does not allow influencing of the respondents by the interviewer. Okay, so it also permits the respondents to take sufficient time given thoughtfully to give thoughtful answers to the questions. Okay, so these days this online survey or survey through short messaging service, etc., that is SMS, are popular. Okay, and there are some of the disadvantages of mail survey as well. Okay, because see, some of the disadvantages are like there is less opportunity to provide assistance in clarifying instructions, so there is a possibility of misunderstanding the questions. Okay, then mailing is also like to produce low response rate due to certain factors, such as see, sometimes what happens is questionnaires are submitted without completing it, then not returning the questionnaire, then loss of questionnaire in mail itself, etc. Okay, so this is also one of the method of collecting the data, that is the mailing questionnaire. Okay, inshallah we will continue in our next class, that is the telephone interview. Okay, I hope you all have understood so much. This is very simple. Okay, in our today's class we just discussed what is data collection, then what is variables, then what are the sources of data, then how do we collect the data. Okay, and how to prepare or preparation of instrument. Okay, so the instrument here is the questionnaire. Okay, I have told you what are the things that has to be kept in mind when you prepare the questionnaire, and what are the modes of data collection. So under modes of data collection there are three, that is the personal interview, mailing survey, and telephone interviews. Okay, I hope you all have understood. If you have any doubt, do contact me. Jazakallah khairan.